Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between private school and public school in Korea and which one I think you should go for. I think it's a pretty general consensus amongst all of us that public school is the way to go. So I'll go into details on why I feel that way, very strongly that way, and why a lot of my friends here as well feel that way. But first, let me kind of explain the differences between the two. Okay, so public school is just like public school in the States. Like, it's funded by the government. You get the minimum pay usually. So I get 2 million won-ish a month, with a couple things taken out like insurance and lunch and things like that. And depending on how much experience you have and stuff, you can get a little bit more. But that's usually the standard. They don't really, you're not going to make a lot of money necessarily with public school. Hagwons, on the other hand, are the private schools. Now, before you get excited, let me explain. Private schools here are different than private schools in the States. So in the States, I went to a private academy for 9 years for my elementary and middle school education. And it was a very good school. I managed to skip a subject in math because it was so advanced, and it was very, very good school. And I would go to that school in lieu of going to a public school. So from 7:30 in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon, I would go to my private school and then do after school activities or go home or whatever. Here, private schools are different. Well, the Hagwons are different. They're usually after school programs, because the educational market here is extremely competitive, almost insanely competitive. So my students, for example, they're elementary, so they're not as bad, but a lot of middle school and high school students will go to their regular school, and then they're done at whatever time they're done, and then they will have a snack, and then they go straight to Hagwon. And they will stay there until 10 o'clock at night, sometimes 11, sometimes even later than that. And that's just studying, trying to get ahead in the market, the educational market, so they can get into a good college and get a good job. So Hagwons, like I said, they're usually in the afternoon. And if you go to a Hagwon, you can get better pay. Even if you have no experience and your degree is not in English, you can get a better pay. The problem with this is, okay, and this is why I suggest you do not work for a Hagwon, at least for your first year here. Hagwons are private, they're business. Okay, so they're hiring you first so that they can get more students, and second, so that the parents will feel, I don't know, more, so they can show you off, basically. And they don't really care that much about you necessarily. They care about the bottom line, and they care about how much money they're bringing in. So you might have to work more hours than necessarily is in the contract. There's really no governing body that's watching over that contract, so they might not really abide by that contract. So you can say, for example, hey, you said I was only going to work 20 hours a week of actual teaching hours. And they'll say, yeah, but we need you to do this, and you're going to do this. And you really have nobody to go to on that. Also, a lot of Hagwons, because they are businesses, if the Hagwon is not doing well, I've heard a lot of cases of teachers not getting paid. That, or Hagwons have been known to, if they're not run by good people, they've been known to mistreat their teachers. They've been known to purposely fire them right before their contract is up so they don't have to give them that bonus at the end of the year. They've been known to literally just close down, and the next day the teacher gets there and they have no idea what's going on. They have no place to live. They have no job, no sponsor for their visa. I mean, it's just a nightmare. And they have to go and hunt and do all these things on more than a last minute notice, literally like a second's notice. And it's just a horrifying experience for a lot of people. I'm not saying that all Hagwons are bad. You can definitely find a good Hagwon. I know of some people who've had good experiences with Hagwons. But as far as safety is concerned, I know I personally went with public school, and I didn't want, like, I will not use a Hagwon probably ever, honestly, because of that safety thing. I want to know that my job is going to be there tomorrow. And I also want, if something does happen at my school, I want a governing body that I can go to say, hey, I was treated unfairly, and have them at least try and work something out. You've also got, with Hagwons, it's a little different. You usually have less students, and like I said, the hours are usually different. So for example, I go to work at my public school. I get there, work starts at 8:40, and I leave at 4:40. And at a Hagwon, you might not get to work until 1. You might not get to work until later than that. And you might work until late at night. There are some Hagwons that are in the morning, but a lot of Hagwons are afternoon and night kind of things, because like I said, the students go to regular school during the day, and then they go to Hagwon at night. And then you usually do have smaller classes, but because it's like an after-school enrollment program, your class size may fluctuate, and there's really no way to kind of control that. And if the students, move to a different Hagwon, like I said, your Hagwon can close down, and then you're kind of screwed. So my suggestion to you is definitely go with a public school. I know it's a little bit less money, but you're going to have that sense of security. You're going to get paid on time, and it's just a lot safer for you, at least for your first year. If you've been here for a year, you know a little bit more, then you can go and interview at Hagwons in person, and perhaps it's a little safer for you. Okay, but yeah, that's my suggestion. So take it or leave it. But oh, one last thing. You also, like, the sick days are different. Like, I have 10 sick days, and then I also have some vacations. There's no such thing as a sick day at a Hagwon. Like, literally, there's no such thing. So just be aware of that as well. Okay, so that's it. So if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to email me or send it to me on my Tumblr, and I'll try my best to answer them. And if not, then I'll just ramble on about stuff that I think is important. Okay, so see you guys later.